The 3 grains that fight sarcopenia and rebuild muscle fast after 60. For most of my life, I thought of grains as nothing more than a background food. A scoop of oats to start the day. Just enough to feel full and keep the energy up for a while. But I never linked grains to muscle. Especially not after turning 60. When things begin to change, you start to notice your legs don't carry you quite like they used to. Climbing stairs takes a bit more effort. And everywhere you turn, the advice sounds the same: more protein, more collagen, more meat, less carbs. No one ever says, "Hey, have you tried the right grains?" And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. Because after spending decades studying how the aging body holds on to, or loses, its strength, I've seen something most people miss. Some grains aren't just carbohydrates. They're inflammation calming, circulation boosting, muscle supporting powerhouses. The kind of foods that don't just fill you up, but help build you back up. The problem is, we tend to lump all grains into one basket. We label them as blood sugar bombs, belly fat triggers, or empty carbs. And yes, some are, but a few special ones are not. These are what I call muscle grains. And they've quietly helped dozens of my patients, myself included, maintain strength well into their 70s and beyond. So today, I'm sharing 3 of these underrated grains with you. You might not be familiar with them yet. But once you understand what they do inside your body, how they help stabilize joints, reduce soreness, and support recovery, you'll never look at your morning bowl the same way again. Even a single spoonful added to breakfast could become one of the most powerful steps in your journey back to strength. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Have you ever considered using grains to rebuild muscle after 60? Type yes if you've heard of it, or no if you've always thought grains were just fluff on the plate. I read every comment, and I'll be right there with you. All right, let's start. Number 3, amaranth. I'll be honest with you. When I first came across amaranth, I didn't give it much thought. Tiny grains that looked like sand. No strong smell, no vibrant color. I definitely didn't imagine it could help build strength after 60. I used to think this can't be much different from white rice or bland cereals. But that's where I was wrong. Completely wrong. Because hidden inside this humble seed is one of the most overlooked tools for muscle recovery in older adults. Let's start with the basics. Amaranth isn't just another carb. It's packed with high-quality protein. Around 9 grams per cooked 100 grams. That's more than brown rice, wheat, or even oats. But what really matters here isn't just the amount, it's the type. Amaranth is a rare plant that offers complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to heal and grow. One of those amino acids, lysine, is especially powerful. You won't find much lysine in most grains, but amaranth is rich in it. And lysine plays a critical role in collagen production, muscle tissue repair, and helping calcium get absorbed into muscle cells. That means stronger bones, better joint support, and faster recovery after everyday activities. Exactly what we need more of after 60. But protein alone isn't what makes this seed a game changer. Amaranth also brings iron, zinc, phosphorus, and most importantly, magnesium. Just 1 cooked cup covers nearly 30% of your daily magnesium needs. A mineral that quietly supports muscle function, steadies your heartbeat, and keeps your nerves firing properly. For me, magnesium isn't just about better sleep. It's about getting up without shaky legs or wobbly balance. And there's more. Amaranth contains unique plant compounds called phenolic acids, natural antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress in muscle tissue. This matters more than people realize because one of the reasons older adults lose muscle faster is due to slower recovery after inflammation. Amaranth helps calm that fire. So how'd I actually use it? Easy. When you cook it, it turns soft and creamy, almost like porridge. I like simmering it with nut milk or bone broth. Then adding cinnamon, ground flax, and soft fruit. Or, I let it cool and mix it into salads with roasted vegetables and olive oil, like quinoa. But with even more recovery power. It's gentle on the stomach, deeply nourishing, and incredibly versatile. Another reason I've recommended amaranth to many older friends and patients, it's naturally gluten-free. So if you're dealing with digestive issues, inflammation, or just trying to reduce processed carbs, it's a great alternative to pasta, bread, or even white rice. Plus, it has a lower glycemic index, meaning it won't spike your blood sugar, which is especially important if you're pre-diabetic or insulin resistant. So here's what I've learned. Sometimes it's not the trendy foods that give us the best results. It's the quiet ones, the forgotten ones. Amaranth may not have flashy packaging or $1 million ad campaign, but it delivers exactly what aging muscles need: clean protein, rare amino acids, calming minerals, and anti-inflammatory power. And if you've always thought grains were just empty carbs, I hope this one little seed changes your mind. Because sometimes, the smallest things hold the most strength. Keep watching, because the next 2 grains might sound more familiar. But what they can do for your muscles will completely shift how you see your daily meals. Number 2. Buckwheat. Coming in at number 2. We have buckwheat. Let's get something straight first. Despite the name, buckwheat has absolutely nothing to do with wheat. And it's definitely not something you need to avoid if you're cutting gluten. In fact, buckwheat is naturally gluten-free. It's what's known as a pseudograin, a seed that behaves like a grain, but without the baggage of gluten or refined carbs. And let me tell you, from everything I've seen, this unassuming seed is one of the most underrated foods for people over 60. Especially if you're dealing with heavy legs, poor circulation, or those annoying muscle cramps that show up after even a short walk. So, what makes buckwheat so special? It all comes down to the way it supports both muscles and blood vessels. It's not just a source of plant-based protein and minerals. It also contains a rare plant compound called rutin. This flavonoid isn't just sitting in your food for fun. It actively strengthens your capillaries, calms inflammation in the blood vessels, and boosts blood flow directly to your muscle tissue. After 60, one of the biggest roadblocks to rebuilding muscle isn't just getting enough protein, it's getting blood to where that protein needs to go. Weak or inflamed vessels in your legs mean poor oxygen delivery, slower nutrient flow, and longer recovery times. No wonder something as simple as walking to the mailbox can leave you worn out. Buckwheat tackles that issue head-on. Rutin helps restore flexibility in your veins, tones the tiny vessels under your skin, and supports healing from conditions like swelling and varicose veins. That's why I've had older patients tell me things like, "My legs don't feel as cold anymore," or, "I can walk farther without needing a break." That's not just a coincidence. It's better circulation doing its job. Now, in terms of protein, a cup of cooked buckwheat gives you around 6 grams. That's a big deal for your muscles, especially when paired with other nutrients like magnesium, copper, and manganese, which support everything from energy production to nerve health and muscle coordination. Oh, and here's a benefit most people overlook. Buckwheat is rich in resistant starch. That means it feeds your healthy gut bacteria and helps stabilize blood sugar instead of causing spikes. So for older adults managing insulin resistance or digestive issues, it's a smart carb, not an enemy. What's the best way to eat it? I love using buckwheat groats, which cook up in 15 to 20 minutes. Use 2 parts water or broth for every 1 part groats, and they'll fluff up like rice with a warm, nutty aroma. I'll often toss them into savory bowls with sautéed greens, eggs, or roasted veggies. They also make great veggie burger patties. For a sweeter breakfast, try cooking buckwheat in oat milk. Then sprinkle in some cinnamon, chia seeds, and toss a few blueberries on top. You'll get a hearty, anti-inflammatory meal that supports your heart, muscles, and digestion all in one bowl. Want more options? Buckwheat flour is fantastic. 2. You can make pancakes, muffins, or crepes that are naturally gluten-free but still loaded with antioxidants and muscle-friendly nutrients. You don't need to eat tons of it. Even half a cup to 1 cup a day is enough to notice real changes, especially in circulation and leg strength. Think of it as fuel for your body's inner plumbing system. Buckwheat isn't flashy like quinoa or chia, but for those of us who care more about function than hype, about walking steadier, standing longer, and reducing inflammation without extra pills, it's one of the best kept secrets for healthy aging. Number 1. Quinoa. Now, ready for the final grain on our list? It's one you've probably heard of before, but chances are, you've never realized how truly powerful it is for rebuilding strength after 60. At number 1, we've got quinoa. It's been hyped as a super grain, praised in health magazines, but many people over 60 still think of quinoa as something for the younger crowd. But let me say this loud and clear, it's one of the most complete, muscle-friendly plant foods out there, especially valuable for older adults looking to stay strong without stressing their digestive system or kidneys. Let's start with what it gives you, about 8 grams of protein per cooked cup. But this isn't just any protein. Quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids your body can't produce on its own. And that's what makes it special. For people in their 60s and beyond who may struggle with appetite or slower digestion, this kind of easy-to-absorb, complete protein can make all the difference in maintaining lean muscle. Here's where it gets even better. Quinoa naturally provides branched-chain amino acids, especially leucine and isoleucine, the very compounds that help switch on the muscle-building signal in your body. This signal is known as mTOR, and after 60, it gets a little sluggish. So even when you're eating enough protein, you might not see the muscle gains unless you're getting the right amino acids. Quinoa delivers them, without the need for powders or pills. It's also packed with inflammation-fighting nutrients like quercetin and camphorol, natural plant compounds that help muscles recover after physical strain. And its mineral content? Impressive. You'll get magnesium, phosphorus, manganese, and folate, all crucial for energy metabolism, muscle repair, and healthy cell function. One study from the University of São Paulo found that older adults who added quinoa to their meals for just 6 weeks saw real gains in muscle strength, even without changing their exercise routine. Scientists believe it's due to how quinoa supports everything from nutrient absorption to mitochondrial health. Now, if you've been unsure about cooking quinoa, don't worry. It's actually simple once you get the hang of it. Rinse it thoroughly first to wash off the bitter coating. Then cook it with twice as much water as quinoa. Let it boil, lower the heat, and simmer until it's fluffy. About 15 minutes. What you get is a light, nutty tasting base that works with just about anything. You can enjoy it warm with eggs and veggies. Toss it into a cold salad with herbs and beans. Or even turn it into a cozy breakfast bowl with almond milk, cinnamon, and berries. However you use it, it's gentle on the stomach, never greasy, and incredibly adaptable. So if you're looking for a simple daily food that fuels your muscles, supports blood sugar, helps your gut, and reduces inflammation, all without overloading your body, quinoa might be the quiet hero you've been missing. Final thoughts. So we've just taken a closer look at 3 humble but powerful grains, each one offering its own way to support your body after 60. Tiny amaranth, rich in rare amino acids, quietly fuels tissue repair. Buckwheat helps blood flow better to tired muscles and aching legs. And quinoa is your all-in-one support system for inflammation, protein, and recovery. Together they form a solid foundation for rebuilding strength, improving balance, and helping you hold on to that independence that matters so much as the years go by. But before you rush off to cook a bowl or add one to your cart, I want to share 3 important notes. Because even good food needs to be introduced the right way. First, if you're living with kidney issues or following a protein-restricted plan, it's crucial to speak with your doctor before adding high-protein grains like amaranth or quinoa in larger portions. Even nutritious protein needs to be adjusted to your body's needs. Second, if your digestion tends to be sensitive, especially with fiber, take it slow. Start with just a spoonful or 2 per day and let your body get used to it gradually. These grains are incredibly healing, but they're also rich in fiber, and jumping in too fast might cause temporary bloating or discomfort. Third, always rinse quinoa and amaranth before cooking. This simple step helps wash away saponins, natural compounds on the grain's outer layer that can taste bitter and irritate the stomach if left intact. And above all, give it time. You don't need to flip your diet upside down overnight. Just one small addition to your daily routine can go a long way. A little scoop of grain in your breakfast or lunch might be all it takes to help your muscles bounce back, steady your steps, and rebuild your energy from deep within. If this video gave you a new way of thinking about food, tap that like button and consider subscribing. We're Harua, here every week with real science-backed tips to help you stay strong, mobile, and full of life beyond 60. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Which grain are you curious to try first? What part of your body are you most focused on strengthening right now? I read every single message and I'm cheering you on every step of the way.